Okay, and we are live. All right, welcome everybody out. Tonight's essential oil topic is wintergreen essential oil, and it's actually pink, not green.
Yes, winter pink.
Who would have thought? Winter pink. So we're petitioning that we change the name to winter pink because it just sounds cool, but that might confuse some people. So wintergreen is awesome. So go ahead and go into here. Everybody tried wintergreen before?
Yep.
It smells like that one kind of bubble gum.
You're right, because they use it in gum and they use it in toothpaste and they use it in a lot of things. So let's hear some of your experiences, guys.
So what do you guys use wintergreen for?
Muscle aches.
Just like the smell of it.
You like the smell of it? I do too.
I do it for muscle ache.
So I knew a guy. He's a singer, and he and his band would be on stage, singing, and they'd just be standing up all night. And at the end, near the end of the night, his feet would get really sore, and so now he has essential oils. He just rubs wintergreen on his feet, I guess before he starts and everything, and that helps to alleviate that, so he doesn't have sore feet, because he's on his feet all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're in a profession where you're on your feet all the time and you get sore feet, or if you have to do a lot of shopping and walking around everywhere, or if you go to
Ben doesn't shop, so you guys know. He's always online shopping there.
You go to some theme park or something,
theme park.
and you're walking around everywhere, and sore feet from doing too much walking. That's an awesome thing to carry with you. So that's one of the uses that I've heard.
When Disney.
Oh, can you say that again, Marissa? I think you cut out.
Sorry, I was saying Tom had said that when you go to Orlando or any amusement parks like Disney or Universal, because you do so much walking there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyone else have stories about wintergreen you want to share?
Anybody else? Austin, are you trying to say something?
No, I haven't got it yet, so I can't use it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's one to add to your repertoire. All right. I'm going to mute a few people. I think we have a little bit of feedback here.
You guys are noisy.
Does everybody know how to unmute themselves? Except for the person on the phone. Who do we have on the
Amanda.
phone?
She's on.
Oh,
board.
Amanda, you're on the phone. Okay, I'll leave you unmuted. So, because I don't know how to unmute you either. Okay, great. Well, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to Jade to talk to us all about what she's learned about wintergreen and in her travels and stories and everything.
So guys, wintergreen, it takes me back to my childhood actually, because we used to use medicated oils, the Chinese medicated oils, and it smells like this. And at first I thought, ew, because I used to fight my parents and didn't want to use it. But now I know better.
Stinky medicine.
Yeah. But this is so much better. It smells a lot sweeter. Actually, in doTERRA, we have two types of wintergreen oils. We have one that's from China that they put in deep blue. They used to sell it individually, but now they sell the Nepalese wintergreen, and that's the one that we have in the single blend and the single oil. Okay, so that's what we can buy.
So
but the other one
with the pink label. The other one,
that's in the doTERRA. Yeah, it's a little bit stronger. This is a lot sweeter for some reason, but the wintergreen that's
So that one still has the green label on it. So that's the one that we used to.
Pink label. That's what we're talking about.
So this is the one you can buy. This is the one that's going to be in your deep blue.
Yeah. But, wintergreen is found in blue. All right, it's one of those oils that has a safety lid on it. Okay, so you just want to use it just for adult supervision because we don't want
Spicy.
we don't want kids to take it
eyes.
well, we don't want kids to drink it internally. It's not meant for internal usage. You can rub it in your gums and things like that, but not like to ingest it. Okay, so it's one of those oils that you don't ingest. So you got that, guys? Okay. So let's move this forward. I'll just give you a quick summary of what we're going to talk about. So it's like Marissa said, it's great for muscles and joints. So if you think about all the health problems and all the names that we give muscle and joint problems, this oil can help with that. And both actually is a stimulant, and it helps your bones, it nourishes your bones, so it helps your bones absorb more nutrients for some reason. It relieves cramps, so any type of spasms, basically. You've got your period cramps, you've got leg cramps, Charlie horses, those kind of things. So we had a friend, Linda, you're on here, I think. She told a really awesome story how she got leg cramp at night and quickly grabbed her deep blue that has the wintergreen, and she said immediately she was shocked at how quickly it helped her. And usually if she gets up and stretches and she gets back in bed, then the cramp. But this time, you know, it was perfect. So that's what we can do with the wintergreen. It also helps with skin. Okay? It's, you know, like most oils, it's great for skin. If you can, you know, use the antimicrobial properties of it, it's great for clearing skin. Great for bladder support, teeth whitening. Did we know that? I know that birch does that, but I didn't realize that wintergreen does that too. So, of course, and it's in toothpaste with that. And then a synthetic version of it. It's warming and it helps with circulation. And the other thing that I use it for most often is for the emotional healing, the surrendering and letting go.
So we'll go into those in depth.
Yeah.
So.
I just want you to say hi to my mother-in-law. She's here, but she's hiding. Right here. Hi. Hi. Anyways, there's a cute video here that we put on our website, so you can watch where wintergreen comes from. And guys, you know,
some of the oils will have videos that come with them on doTERRA's website.
Yeah. You know, I'm very touched by all of the doTERRA oils and the sourcing of it. It just feels like we are loving and sending love to the people in Nepal. When I purchase wintergreen and when I use wintergreen, I have a connection with people. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but when I use like Veneva, I have a connection with people in Haiti. And when I use wintergreen, I have this connection with the people in Nepal. And it was awesome that we were there because when they had the earthquake, doTERRA was already there to help them, and the Healing Hands Foundation was there to help them, you know, rebuild little houses and
school.
It's just beautiful, and you know they're way high up in the mountains, and you know they have those step like tier up in the mountain, and it's very difficult to get up there, and they don't have access to a lot of things, and this is one of the only things that they can do to earn money.
I think wintergreen is also wildcrafted too,
yes,
isn't that right?
Yeah.
So wildcrafted means they just go out into nature and find it. They haven't cultivated and planted it specifically for this purpose.
And this is one of the lowest yielding oils that they have in doTERRA. So there's only 3% yield, which means that they have to have a lot of plant material, and all that produces a tiny amount of oil.
So in this video, you see these ladies carrying these huge baskets of wintergreen, like leaves and stuff on them.
And they have these baskets at the doTERRA convention so that we could, you know, carry it and feel how heavy it is. But these people, they carry it several baskets, and then they walk a long distance to deliver it. And they can do it before their kids get up. And they do it as much as they want to and earn as much as they need to. and then be able to be home with their children. So it's a very a good way for them to earn money. Yeah. Do you guys remember that video, the people that went with us? Yeah? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the best ways to use wintergreen. It's fine to use neat. It's not one of those very, very hot oils, but I find that if you...
And for those of you who just joined and don't understand, neat means just applying it without dilution.
Yep. I just find that a tiny bit of dilution is better because it helps with absorption and deeper penetration. So last convention, the presenters told us that, you know, with a little bit of dilution, it keeps the oils on the skin. It doesn't flash off into the atmosphere too quickly.
And also helps carry the oils into your...
and it penetrates deeper.
So you get more therapeutic value.
Yeah, just a little bit of dilution will be good. And the wintergreen from Nepal, like I said, it's a lot sweeter, and it doesn't, but it works just as well. It's not as hot. It used to be a hot oil for me, but yeah.
A good practice is, like with this and some others, if you apply the oil neat and then maybe apply either the lotion or the fraction of coconut oil on top of it. It's like when you use Deep Blue, and Deep Blue has wintergreen in it. If you apply, you know, you have the Deep Blue rub and just the Deep Blue undiluted.
Yeah.
So if you're applying it undiluted, it's going to have more of an immediate effect. If you apply the rub or, you know, a diluted form of it, it's going to have a more sustained effect and stay on there longer.
That's why we use.
So you do both.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a bit of pain that you really want to get, really want to help out, yeah, do both. It's much better that way. All right. So muscles and joints. So when you think of all the problems with that, that's like arthritis and other joint problems. Wintergreen is fine by itself, but you might want to mix it with some of these other oils. So here are some great oils to mix with. So blue tansy, copaiba, helichrysum, Siberian fir, cypress, and peppermint. So these oils, you can play around with it to meet your needs.
3 of the new single oils there.
Yeah. So
the cypress is really good for circulation and everything. The peppermint, I don't know if you guys have noticed, peppermint's in a lot of blends. It's a good oil to help drive the other oils in.
Yeah, because it's a small molecular size. Yep. So just mix it with, some people mix it with lotion, and that becomes their body rub every day. If they have aches and pains, they just use that lotion and rub the body with that. So rheumatism rub. Yeah.
Would you say wintergreen's also a good one to take aromatically, just to diffuse into the room?
It's good for opening airways, but there's other oils that might be better. But I would use it aromatically for the emotional healing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So. I know someone was thinking about that question.
Thanks
for asking. I had to ask.
Thanks for asking. Okay, so
any questions on muscles, or anybody have anything else they want to add?
So, you know, wintergreen is just used forever that I could remember in my family, just for that reason, the muscles. If you saw all over, it's an oil to use.
And if you're thinking winter, I don't know if you're going to go into it later with warming. It's probably a good time to talk about it now that it has. So winter is cold time of the year, right? And wintergreen will help warm your muscles as well. So sometimes if you get cold, that's another. We talked about another oil or couple. Which one that was cassia and cinnamon for warming. So if you have cold feet or cold pinkies, you can put wintergreen on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody suffers from that.
Somebody's going to say that.
Something to try. I don't know.
All right, bones, spurs, and cartilage. Okay, so there's a blend here for you guys. And for the people that are listening, I'll read it out to you. So blend 5 drops of wintergreen, 4 drops of cypress, 3 drops of helichrysum, and 3 drops of Siberian fir, and 2 drops of peppermint. And you can dilute that with the fractionated coconut oil and then apply 3 to 4 times a day. Okay, and just keep it up until that problem resolve itself.
So I know there's some people that's going to be listening to this later on. They're going to ask what are bone spurs. So I'm going to ask it for them. Like I totally know what they are. I'm just asking just for the sake of those people.
Just the irritation of that where bones.
We have a nurse here in the room. My mother, who's just off the camera here.
In my mind, it's like the bones that's growing, and it's not. It's like it sticks out a little bit of lumpy bone. I don't know how to.
Lumpy bone syndrome. That's the technical term. So the technical term.
I don't know.
Well, that's it. The bone kind of grows funny.
Yeah.
Or
bone grow funny.
It becomes irritated there.
Irritated bones.
And it just hurts and cartilage. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, maybe if you have it, you know
so
what it is.
So I did read a research where it helps stimulate bone nourishment and growth and things. So, yeah, anything to do with the bones, I would use the wintergreen a little bit. Okay.
I just had to throw out the hard questions for you. So. You see how she was stumped?
I was stumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So frozen shoulders and stiff knees. Okay, so you can mix this with Siberian fir.
Does that mean like stiff shoulders?
Yes, I mean, people call it frozen shoulders. That's usually the English term, right? And the knees are kind of stiff. So you can rub a little bit of fractionated coconut oil in with that, Siberian fir, and then rub it on the area 2 or 3 times a day.
All right. Anybody have experience with using wintergreen in that way?
I've helped a lot of people do that.
Actually. Hey, let's take a poll. How many people have used some experience using wintergreen? Okay, we have 1. Stacy, you?
Yeah.
Austin already said he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Amanda.
You guys can have hands up too.
Did you? You can give us a thumbs up if you used it. Linda?
Yeah.
Amanda's used it. Yeah, she says yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Des, Martha, Aaron, and Barbara.
They're all blacked out.
You know what? There's a way I can put a poll together, but I didn't prepare it beforehand. So the thumbs up will. Yeah. So I'd say about half the people have used wintergreen, so that's good.
It's fairly easy.
I think it's one of those more, I wouldn't say obscure because it hurts someone's feelings.
No.
Less common oils, but it's a fantastic one.
Yeah, in the Modern Essential book, it says to be careful if you're on warfarin, to be careful not to use too much wintergreen. My friend, her dad was using warfarin, and she did use a little bit of deep blue and wintergreen on him. And, she said it was fine because she had to, he was hurting or something. And, I think it's just when you use a whole heap that it's going to affect the medication. Okay, and most of the time, essential oils will help clear out the receptor sites on your cells and help your cells work better, which means the drugs will work better. So if you are on medication, just go back to your doctor and review and reduce as often as you can, because your cells will be cleaner and healthier. You may not need that much medication anyways.
Just to give you guys an idea of what that smells like. So it's like that icy rub or muscle rub things. It has I think menthol is one of the chief ingredients.
Yes.
And they usually, for muscle rubs, things that you buy over the counter, they make all that in a laboratory.
Yeah.
And so, here it is, made from a plant.
Yep, all natural. Okay, so for teeth whitening, you can do what we do with birch. You can put a couple of drops of wintergreen and baking soda, and then you can brush your teeth with it. Birch is one of the famous oils for teeth whitening. My friend, her partner, he's a heavy smoker, and he drinks a lot of coffee. And she said all his life he had yellow teeth, and she said 2 weeks of it, and it looks totally different. So, yeah, that's a wonderful testimony there. Okay, so baking soda, and you can swish it and spit it out. For me, I like to do oil pulling with it. So just a spoonful of your virgin coconut oil, and then a couple of drops of oil, and just swish around your mouth. It cleans your mouth, it cleans your gums, and it helps with the stains on your teeth too.
So they call that oil pulling when you do that with the coconut oil. And you swish it around for maybe anywhere between 5-20 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. It seems longer, but it's only like 5 minutes to me.
So you can read about oil pulling on the internet. There's a lot of articles on it.
Okay, for sprains, you can.
Wait, we should just maybe stop there. Does anybody have any comments, anything they want to add at this point, or questions? See if we can stump Jade again.
No. They're all nice to me.
All right, everybody's good.
Okay, guys, sprains. Mix 5 drops of wintergreen, 4 drops of lemongrass, 4 drops of Siberian fir, 6 drops of cypress. Dilute it with fractionated coconut oil and rub it on the area 3 to 4 times a day. Okay.
Thank you.
You guys are probably wondering about Siberian fir. So for recipes that have white fir, if you have white fir, you can't get it. Siberian fir is going to be your replacement from now on for white fir, because the world can only produce so much of some of these oils, and so Siberian fir actually is a better substitute. So
it's nice.
So if you run into that in the future, like if you see a recipe that calls for white fir and you don't know what to do, just use Siberian fir.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. It's not the same, but it's a good substitute.
Oh yeah, they have a similar chemical structure, but then also it's a little bit more powerful. Okay, so cramps and Charlie horses. Okay, cypress and bergamot are oils that actually help with spasms. Okay, so you can mix wintergreen with that and then massage it on, but also to drink water with lemon oil and peppermint oil, just 1 drop of each, to help the water absorb better in your body.
I like the story you told that Linda told about Charlie horses.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get that, and I've had that before, where you're laying in bed and minding your own business, and your leg cramps up, and you feel like you're gonna die. You're trying to stretch your leg out. You're like, this is the end of my life. My muscle's gonna detach any moment. So that's a good one to keep on hand. Wintergreen.
Yeah, we'll always remember Linda and the Charlie horse.
we gotta think of some mnemonic device. Charlie horse, wintergreen. Maybe it's a winter horse that's green. I'm just helping you guys out. Mnemonic devices work for me.
We're gonna move to MS. Okay, we've got a few friends that we know that have MS, and it's
multiple sclerosis.
Yep. This is a nerve support. And, I love these oils because I'm telling you some of the recipes for the physical side, but I can see what it does for you on the emotional level too. Okay, so wintergreen, 4 drops, 4 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of sandalwood, 3 drops of thyme, 2 drops of peppermint. And you're going to mix that with fractionated coconut oil. And then you can put it on the back of your neck, the bottom of your feet, morning and night. It helps enhance communications and soothes the nerves. Okay. So that's...
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a good recipe, but you got to be patient because this one calls for time.
Haha.
I'm just seeing if you're all awake.
Okay, I'm sorry. We fed Ben sugar right before this.
Sorry, yeah.
We had ice cream right before this.
These are the jokes, people.
Urinary tract and bladder.
I'm not going to make a joke on this one.
No. And bladder. Let's not. Okay, 1 to 2 drops of wintergreen and 1 to 2 drops of geranium with fractionated coconut oil, and just rub it on the lower abs. Okay. It can be very uncomfortable, and sometimes you don't know what to do. You're drinking cranberry juice and all these things, but this is really effective. So rub it on your tummy and put a hot pack on, and it should help.
So Jade, I'm going to ask, because I know that there's like 50 people that are listening to this that are thinking about the same question. What about the urinary tract? Is this for infections, or
yes,
maybe you need to go toilet too much?
No, it's about infections.
What's the oil that you take if you're on a long road trip and you don't want to have to use a toilet so many times?
It's cypress.
Cypress. Someone was going to ask that question.
Yeah, you're mind reading tonight. That's amazing.
These are the amazing secrets of essential oils. You guys taking notes? You don't have to, because it's all written down here. Maybe you can print it out later on.
Definitely. Okay.
So
guys.
infections.
There's a lot there, but it helps with circulation. But I don't know, there's something about it that helps with. So we do have one daughter that has this concern quite a bit for some reason.
But we won't name her. We won't even tell you who her parents are.
But for some reason, it's just her. And this is what we found to be helpful. And I looked it up, and we'll share it with you guys. There's plenty more recipes and blends and things with wintergreen that you can use. But yeah, I think about wintergreen. It's great for any sort of aches and pains. Yeah, basically it's inflammation, right? Okay.
Does anybody have any other things that they'd like to add to that?
Any other experiences?
So wintergreen is, yeah, Marissa, were you going to say something?
She has to unmute first, honey.
Oh, this is a test, Marissa. If you can unmute yourself, then you can talk. Oh, you know what? I can't even unmute you. Your voice has disappeared.
Oh, where's the mic?
Yeah. No mic. Got to get her audio started. While she's doing that, I was gonna share. Wintergreen. A lot of the fur oils are fantastic around Christmas time. I don't know if this is one of the ones that's in the holiday joy blend, but if you're trying to get that kind of a Christmassy smell in your home, some of these fur oils are really fantastic for bringing in the Christmas mood, I guess you could say.
Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how sometimes you try to set the mood with lighting and smell. Smell is another way you can present that. So it's a good one to diffuse at that time of the year. Just grab all the fur oils.
Did you get yourself unmuted, Marissa? Oh.
They've raised their hand. Over the hand.
Oh, wonder what's happening.
All right, that's what I was going to suggest. Just get out of here.
No, I think
all right.
Back on, Ben.
Is that Debbie Sue? Debbie, did you have anything you wanted to add about wintergreen?
I've really used it primarily for bones and sprains and strains. But I learned something tonight. I have never, ever, ever used it for teeth whitening. So I'm going to give birch and or wintergreen a try for teeth whitening.
That's a good idea, because birch is hard to get. Come to convention next year. Has everybody signed up?
I hope so.
The ticket portal has closed, by the way, guys.
Oh, I'll take it.
We had some friends that couldn't make it, couldn't get it on. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Marissa?
Marissa, can we hear you now?
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened. That was really weird.
She pressed a button.
I pushed a button. Yeah.
Guys, don't press buttons. Just kidding. You can press buttons. When all else fails, just reset.
I told you.
Just left the meeting. It worked fine. That was good.
Okay.
I was thinking back to the thing about the road trips thing, and I was thinking about my 2 toddlers and how I'm going to try it for that. See if we can get longer breaks between the potties.
So remember that cypress, not wintergreen.
Right, cypress. I'm looking up at the cypress thing.
Yeah.
Not really. Sorry.
Rub it on your tummies. Rub cypress on your tummy.
Yeah, road trips. Get a longer.
I used to drive a lot to classes because we used to live in the country, and then it's 2 hours to another class, and then 7 hours to Sydney. So, yep, it really works. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the mind. Wintergreen. This is another reason why I love wintergreen. Okay. So it's an oil of surrender.
Wait, let's just make sure everybody's been have a chance. Did anybody else want to say anything? I just want to make sure we get everybody's input. Anything else anybody wants to say about wintergreen? Yes. Now we have captured all the knowledge. Now you can go on.
Okay, thank you.
Just want to make sure we get it all, people.
It's the oil of surrender. Okay. Need I say more? Okay. According to the Emotions and Essential Oils book, the negative emotions that wintergreen helps you shift out are controlling, willful, needing to be right, burdened, and excessive self-reliance. Okay, and the positive emotions are surrender, relying on divine grace, non-attachment, teachable, and strengthened.
And everybody knows where she's getting. These are all from the Emotions and Essential Oil book.
Yep.
Which has just been updated, but I didn't see it online. So.
Yep. Yep. There it is. She got
Yay!
it.
See, Marissa has the updated version. It has 3 additional oils.
Yep. Yeah. Stacey's got it too.
Wow.
Yep. So we have been taught to be independent and self-reliant, right? And it's a fantastic virtue, but the problem is we take this virtue too far sometimes, and we refuse to let God and other people help us. And there are some people that give and give and give, and you know, they have the control all the time, and we forget to balance that. And somehow, you know, if we let other people help us, it feels like we're weak, and we don't like that. So sometimes our self-worth is built on, you know, accomplishment that we have achieved on our own. But wintergreen invites us to balance that virtue so that we could allow other people to give and take our turn to receiving. Okay, so this oil is fantastic to help you learn to be interdependent, work collaboratively, and just let go of the need to carry things on your own. Okay, so we can leverage other people's strengths. At convention, that's one of the big messages that I got.
It's a teamwork oil.
Well,
Maybe bring it to a team meeting.
It's sort of like
stop trying to do it all yourself.
Yeah. So the cedar wood is like a teamwork oil, but this one here is let go of control and let other people do stuff too. Okay. Yep. Yep. Hey, man. I think they got the message. Okay, so if you feel like you have to do everything on your own, smell wintergreen and kind of let God, let the universe, let your friends do some things too. Okay, so if you dilute wintergreen and sandalwood and balance oil on the bottom of your feet, and then you can smell it, inhale it as you soak in your Epsom salt bath, it'll help you let go. This is important because when we have people doing the cleanse, once in a while I get people texting me or emailing me and telling me that they have rashes all over their body from head to toe. And they say, oh, I'm an allergic, Jade. I'm allergic to the oils. So first of all, I tell them they can't be. And the second thing is I tell them to surrender and let go. And we've had some experiences lately that some people, they've done this. They use the sandalwood, the wintergreen, and the balance oil. And they're just sort of, surrendering and letting go of things and, handing things over, putting their burdens down. And then suddenly their body starts to detox and flush through the bowel movements and through urinating instead of through the skin. Okay. Because you get irritated with yourself for not doing more, achieving more, or hey, why am I so tired? I'm not supposed to be tired. And you get mad at yourself. But Wintergreen teaches you to let go and surrender, and your turn to receive, your turn to rest. Okay, that's very important. So if you have teammates that, you know, complain about, hey, I'm doing the detox, I'm taking the all these supplements, and all of a sudden I've got, you know, all these rashes coming through. What's happening? Okay, that's one thing that has really helped people, and I'm surprised how quickly it helps people too. I've had people come back and say, hey, within a couple of days everything cleared up. That's awesome, right? Because I thought that's, you know, and I had that problem too, actually. So when I detoxed, I had lots of acne, and then my eczema got worse. And I realized that I'm not letting the toxins out the proper way, not pooping it out. I'm, you know, pushing it through my skin. And that really taught me a big lesson. All right. So anybody want to share their experiences with using Wintergreen for the mind and the emotions?
I'll share a story. I went downstairs one night and it smelled like root beer. And I said, who's got the root beer? Because you know what, I don't drink soda, but root beer is one that I really like if I were to drink it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't planning on drinking it, but I was like, who's got the root beer? And my son Jason said, Mom, it's my diffuser. And I said, what have you got in your diffuser? And he goes, Mom, you told me the diffuser recipe for root beer. And it's wintergreen mixed with citrus bliss. And it is phenomenal. Whenever we have a craving for root beer, we just diffuse.
Oh, that's perfect.
But it really does lift the spirits, and it really does help you to just chill and let go.
Let go.
And so it's a great combination, wintergreen and citrus bliss together.
I like that. I hope you guys took note. That's a really good idea.
Root beer recipe. I like it. That's going to go viral.
Yeah.
Make root beer essential oils.
Yeah, it does. It's one of the ingredients in root beer too. Yeah.
White.
Wintergreen. Yeah. Yeah.
Wintergreen.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wintergreen and citrus bliss.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Marissa?
I was going to share, I had some emotional effects, I suppose, from the wintergreen oil. I know that around Christmas time last year, I started using it more for what I thought would help me with breathing stuff, being stuffed up and colds and things. But I found that it actually enabled me to be able to talk to you finally after months of kind of avoiding you, because I'm getting better about being very controlling. It's something I work on, letting go and asking for help, which I have always found to be very difficult. It's just asking for help when I need it, because I just feel like I should be able to do everything on my own. So being able to appreciate and ask for help and just kind of let go. I know it's cliche at this point because of Frozen and Elsa, but letting things go has been a huge thing for me in making progress, spiritually and physically.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that reminds me, guys, for the people that are trying to lose weight, letting go is a big deal for you, okay? Because your cells hold on to the fat and the toxins, just fiercely. So if you can let go, you will lose weight in your sleep. Okay, it's a really important thing to remember. I've had a lot of people, they exercise and they eat right, and that's one of the most difficult thing for them to do, is just let go of control. And once they do, magic happens. So if you have a hard time, just diffuse it. It's not like, you're broken. Diffuse the oils and it just will guide you and help you relax a little bit more, and then you find that you can let go. Okay, that's a really important oil to understand and the uses of. Okay. The next thing is...
Anybody else? I think I saw someone.
Anybody else? Sorry.
Stacy, did you have something you want to say? Okay.
Welcome home, Stacy. I forgot to tell you guys. I forgot to say welcome back to her. Yeah, poor Stacy was, because of the hurricane, she was stuck in Salt Lake for a while. She finally got home to her family.
I was going to say, in the new updated Emotions and Essential Oils book, I do notice a little bit different. I like how at the bottom it says suggested uses. So it tells you how to do it topically or aromatically.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really helpful because I don't remember that being in the other book, but it's nice that it added that below it. And the companion oils. I don't think that was there before either.
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah.
Well, get the new book, guys. Thank you, Stacey. Okay, let's move to the next thing here. Okay, so the spirit side. I just want to quote from the Emotions and Essential Oil book, 6th edition, because I thought they said it really nicely. So Wintergreen teaches that one can turn their hardships over to that greater power than themselves, so they do not have to carry the burden of life all alone. And that's really important because sometimes we don't realize that we are carrying a lot, that it gives us value, things that it gives our life meaning, and we are defined by what we achieve. And Wintergreen just helps us be real, you know, just be okay, just like everybody else. And I really appreciated that because I felt like years ago I used to be a Nazi and really want to get everything done and everything checked off the list and everything just so. And if it wasn't that way, I'd just fall apart. But this really helped me. So, and it also reminds me of a scripture in Proverbs for the Bible readers. In the Bible it reads in the Proverbs 3:5, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." So that's the verse that I think of when I think of Wintergreen. Okay, so to surrender to the divine, that's another way we could use it, just to help ourselves feel that surrendering. We want to have that faith, but at times it's hard because we've wound ourselves up so tightly. It's hard to just switch on a switch and say, hey, now I can let everything go. So this is to help you unwind and relax and feel safe. In my mind, how I do this, because a lot of people ask me, how do you just do that? I picture myself removing burdens, like just packages off my shoulders and just placing it on the altar and say, hey, you guys take care of that for now. I need to rest. Or seeing angels beside me, carrying my burdens with me, and that helps me too. And then some affirmations or new brain scripts, and to help rewire your brains. I say something like, I allow God and angels to carry my burdens, and I'm relaxed and I can let go of control. So, even my children, my own responsibility, sometimes you think it's my responsibility, it's my children, but, it doesn't have to be that way. You can have help with that. Yeah. Anyone want to add anything and say anything? Thoughts? Does that make sense?
Yes,
Go ahead, Stacey.
I did use it for that, for feeling overwhelmed, just thinking that I had to take care of all my kids and everything like that. And I used it for some time, and you had told me then just to picture that he's sending angels to help support me and hold me up and take some of that off. And it did help. And I'm thinking now maybe I need to use it again. I just realized last night I'm starting to feel like that again. And so maybe I should just do that again because it worked months ago,
Yeah,
So,
we go through phases, don't we?
yeah.
New burden, there's new responsibility, there's new opportunities. That's great. Thank you, Stacey. So I'll share with you one story that really helped me appreciate Wintergreen. It was a few years ago, and Ben got a job in the country, and we were living in Sydney, and I really was enjoying living with my family. And finally, we were back together again because we've lived in the States for a while, and then we're back in Australia. And so Ben got this job that was 7 hours south in the boonies, like there's nothing but kangaroos and koalas and just not a lot of people. And cows, lots of cows. So I told him he can just go and check it out and then let me know how it goes, but I wasn't going to move. He lived there and he traveled back and forth every weekend. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to move. I was hoping that he'll find a job closer to Sydney. And then one day I was doing the dishes and my knees started hurting and I had to pause because it got my attention, right? And then I muscle tested and I said, okay, knees, about what? About stubbornness. Oh, yes, that's stubborn. And I thought, what am I stubborn about? And I went through the list in my head of possibilities and I landed on moving, stubbornness about moving. And I thought, okay, well, I'll think about this. And then I said, let's find an oil for my knees. And the oil that came up first was Wintergreen. So stubborn Jade needs to surrender. I got the message. I connected the dots. I rubbed the oils on and I said, okay, I'm going to let go and surrender to whatever happens, whatever may come of this. And, of course, I spoke to the children and we planned it all out and we had a nice family discussion. But eventually we moved. And that was an awesome move. I've met people that I will forever be friends with for the rest of my life. And it changed me. And I felt like I was used as an instrument in God's hands there too. So that lesson was a big lesson for me. It taught me that I just have to trust. It may not make sense in my little head here, but I just have to follow what I am inspired to do instead of leaning on my understanding, thinking, what is out there for me? So that's a lesson, big lesson for me. And I just wanted to share it with you guys in case it stirs some inspirations in you too. But yeah, Wintergreen, let go and surrender. Okay. It really helped me at least say, where's my faith? Show me that I can surrender. Okay. Yep. Anyone want to add anything or say anything about Wintergreen?
I just think that this would be good for me to go ahead and start using since I'm on the cleanse right now to just kind of like release emotions and things like that, because I am really good about like holding things in and like feeling like I have to take control of everything. So I even feel like, being on the cleanse, I haven't like experienced all of the detoxing that I thought I would. And so maybe this would really help just to go ahead and give it that extra power.
Oh, sounds good, Desiree.
Give in, Desiree. Surrender.
Yeah.
Ooh. Right.
Nice. We're here for you. Woo!
Thank you.
All right. So I think it's time for us to do a random number.
Random number, giving away a free Wintergreen for everybody who is here. Okay, random number pick. So we have 12 people joining us tonight, and we're going to flip the random number. 12.
Yeah, this awesome app. It does it for us.
So, everybody ready? Bam! 2. Amanda. What? You just won a free Wintergreen.
Yay! Awesome. Aren't you glad you came on the call tonight?
I am. Yay!
All right.
And you learned stuff too.
I learned a lot.
Guys, I did check, and there are some. It looks like registration is still open. I know we said that some people had looked into it and said that they weren't able to. So if you want to register for convention, just go to jadebaldwin.com/events, and we've put all the links right here on there. So there's registration. We're told it's only going to be up there for a short time, but look, it's still there. So you can go on there and go ahead and try to register again. Looks like it's still there.
Okay. Well, I just texted my friends, told them to get on quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a fantastic experience. You got 3 days, 8 hours a day of, learning about the product and all these sorts of things. If you guys wonder where Jade's learned it all, or a big part of what we learn is from convention.
Yeah.
They do cover a lot of knowledge. Wouldn't you say so, those who attended?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you
Plus,
agree?
next year we're having a great big birthday party for me.
Yeah.
Yes, next year, right there.
And that'll be during Marissa's birthday, and so you can come get some birthday cake too. So the cost of your ticket includes birthday cake. And when the gala opens up, you want to get tickets for that as well.
So I'm still watching the convention videos. It's awesome. It's something that is very valuable. I feel you can't get this kind of information anywhere.
It's true until the 24th. So we have a few more days left. If you weren't able to attend convention, you can go online and you can still get access to watch convention online. So there you go. Yeah, it's still available. Yeah, still available. That's $49, and you can watch all was 3 times 8 hours worth of video.
24
hours worth of videos. So just wake up at 12 a.m. and don't go to sleep until 12 a.m. the next day. That's how you do it.
Thing on Netflix where you just watch a whole season in a day.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up Wintergreen. Any last things anybody wants to add to this video that will forever live on jadebaldwin.com for future generations? Your grandchildren are watching. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stop the video. Thank you everybody for joining us. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast, we know there's a lot of people out there. Thanks for listening. If you do have any questions that I wasn't able to predict for you, go ahead and put them in the comments down at the bottom, just above the pretty girl there. Enter your comments here. Write your comments there, and we read all of those and answer them religiously. We're very religious people. So again, thanks for listening, and we're going to go on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Where's the stop button? Lost it.